Yes, people. Waffle TV in the building. Your boy Abs and your boy D Man making his debut on the channel. And you know what? We're gonna have to show D Man some love today. You know what I'm saying, people? Yeah. Thank you for joining today, D Man.
No
We've been
worries,
chatting a
man.
lot in the WhatsApp group and all them things there.
Yeah, bro.
And you
All
know
good,
what?
man.
It's a pleasure to have you here today. Do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the game and everything, man. But before we start getting into like the game and stuff, yeah. Do you want to shout out your channel and what I mean, just give us a little bit of an intro and stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, D man here from 90s Mags. Wait, 90s Mags. Sorry, my little way in the store. I don't know why he's in the Chelsea game as well because the Newcastle one. But anyway, um, yeah. So 90s Mags, big up AC and Jefferson, the three of us.
Big up.
We just talk all things Newcastle United, reviews, previews. You know what I mean? Obviously, we'll be in Europe next season, so covering the European games and that. But yeah, man,
What?
check it out.
True. Yeah.
We'll be in
True.
Europe. We'll be in Europe. Whether it's Champions League or not, we'll be in Europe. So
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
be
sure you've
interesting.
got Everton in it next, isn't it?
Everton at home
That's
next
it.
weekend,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah. You got to slap them up, man. I think you.
We're not slapping them. We should beat them. We're not slapping them.
Yeah.
We're not slapping them. But yeah,
Well, you
check
never
out the
know.
channel, man. Huh?
You never know, though.
You
You
never
never
know.
know.
But as obviously we knew it's going. Well, me personally, I knew it was likely to come down to the last day.
Yeah.
But the pressure will be on. But we're at home in it, so we're expected to win this one. But yeah, check out 90s Mags. A lot of content on there. We're going to be reviewing the game later tonight at 9 o'clock as well. So check that out as well. But yeah, man, that's me, man. That's me, long time Newcastle United support since the early 90s, man. Before the entertainers, shall I say? So yeah, it's
I
Andy
hear
Cole
that.
days. Andy Cole days. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes. My late brother, he was a Newcastle fan in it, so big up to my late brother and that, rest
big him
in
up,
peace,
man.
big Newcastle fan. Um, it so how he became a Newcastle fan is that I think when he was ill when he was younger, I think there was a hospital he used to go to Newcastle and get treatment and stuff.
Okay.
And then, I mean, he just fell in love with like the people and the team as well, in Newcastle, when John Barnes was there, and do you know what I mean? Like, because he was
Them days. Okay.
yeah, because so he passed away last year, at the age of 39. So I don't know what era that was.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
he's probably a
Southeast days.
90s as well. Yeah, he's probably a 90s as well. So rest in
Okay.
peace, Raf, and all
I'll
them
pick him up,
things
man.
there. Yeah, man. And the sad thing, is that he never got to see you man lift the trophy, innit?
Right.
That's,
Okay.
that's that's the saddest thing, bro. I'm telling you. I'll send you a picture of him anyway
Yeah,
after
man. Definitely,
streaming.
man. Definitely,
Yeah, man.
definitely.
But rest
Yeah.
in peace, my brother. But yeah. Before we get into it though, yeah, I just want to just like, what I mean, congratulate you guys. I mean, you've had a great season. What I mean, we can talk about the game in isolation, but we can also talk about Newcastle season. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Carabao Cup winners. The way you moved to Liverpool at Wembley, yeah. Oh my God.
Won't forget it. We'll never forget it.
Them man, listen, them man could say what they want, but they got moved to, yeah. They got moved to, and the scoreline doesn't really tell the
Reflect
whole.
performance.
Yeah, with the performance, but obviously, what I mean. You've won the trophy and stuff like that. You want to finish the season, really good. What is your take on this season?
You know what? We have to say, listen, at the beginning of the season, before the summer transfer window opened, I was optimistic we could finish in the top four, right? But then obviously the transfer window went, we didn't sign anybody of any note, just Asula and Lloyd Kelly on the free. So it was a bit pessimistic. So I said, listen, cup run and at best top six, right? Now, if you look at it now, we've got the trophy, which we didn't expect. And not only that, we beat some good teams on the way as well. Yeah, the likes of Brentford, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then Liverpool in the final. Yes, it wasn't easy. Forest as well, a high-flying Forest as well.
Yeah.
So the nature of where we did it and the performance in the final, like that was everything. If you asked any Newcastle fan the trophy was the most important thing, and we got it, right? We got the trophy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there are obviously from a financial perspective, the bread and butter is the league, right? And
Mhm.
I have to give the team credit because we could have easily down tools after the cup final, right?
Yep.
And if you check it, I think we played 9 games and we lost 2, drawn 1, and won the rest. Yeah, including today. Yeah. So to be, and I think we're still third in the league. So to be third going into the last day, every Newcastle fan would have bitten your hand off for it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in that respect, and even if we don't get Champions League season, it's still a very good season. If we don't get Champions League, still a very good a very good season. If we
Of
get
course.
Champions League, it's a great season. Yeah. So I have to give Eddie Howe credit as well because I was one of his detractors early on in the season when we weren't playing well, with losing games that we shouldn't have done, and it looked like I think we're sitting in like 10th or 11th. I thought, you know what, this could get sticky for him, right? And I was
Yeah.
more Eddie out than Eddie in. But credit to him, he's proved me wrong. He's turned it around, and we now have the belief that we are actually a good team. Because the disappointing thing is that we shouldn't have lost the game today. Based on our performance, we shouldn't have lost the game, right? Or our first half performance. And usually we go to the Emirates before the season. We go to the Emirates, clinging on, hoping we could get a point, clinging on to it, right? Defensive football, parking the bus. If we get one opportunity, that'll be like from a set piece or whatever. But the confidence that we've got now, and the way we play, the quality of the players that we have, it's a different Newcastle. So in that respect, I can't really be too down. I'm obviously disappointed about the result today, but overall the season, it's been a good one. It's been a very good one. So let's hope we end it on a high. And we are still favourites to qualify, but still job to be done. But yeah, I can't complain, man. I can't complain because remember this we haven't signed anybody of note, right? So we've got a good first 11, but our squad is very thin in numbers and quality, right?
Yeah.
But the job that he's done, Eddie Howe's done, and the coach staff has done, can't fault him. Can't fault him.
And
So
last season as well. Last season, sorry to cut you. Last season, you had hella injuries. Injuries.
yeah,
So
and that was the inexperience of playing 2 games a week, isn't it? We didn't have the squad, and the injuries mounted up. And listen, we only missed out on Europe because Man United won the cup, the FA Cup. That's the only reason why we're not playing in Europe this season, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at his tenure here, he saved us from relegation, then got us in the Champions League, then finished 7th, and now we're going to finish, I think, top 5, top 6 minimum. So we're doing a very good job, man. We're steadily climbing. We're steadily climbing.
100%, 100%. Big up to BBK that's just joined us today. We're gonna get into the game in a moment though. So yeah, let's just get into the game, innit? Big up to AFC, always in the building. He says, "Where's our Champions League qualification trophy? Embarrassing season." Totally agree with you. And he said, "I've seen enough to know this Arsenal team isn't winning anything next season, no matter who we sign in the summer. The real issue is bigger than any one player." Do you know what? Yeah, I want to come back to this comment. AFC, and don't go nowhere, yeah, my brother, because we're going to come back to this comment. Let me start off with the first half. I felt embarrassed the way Newcastle, were just carving us up in the midfield. We know Newcastle got a great midfield anyway, but they're missing,
Joelinton.
Do you know what I'm saying? They're missing their star player, Isak, which I think would have been a different game today if he had played. But you know what? We can give the excuses all day long. However, they still found ways of carving us up, getting in shots. And if it weren't for Raya, because I was vexed at first when Raya passing the ball out and stuff like that. But when you think about the saves that he made in that first half, he's kind of kept us in the game. So, Newcastle, although, do you know what I mean, when we attacked, their defensive shape was very good. When they attacked us, they also looked, quite dangerous as well. So it was a case of, right, this team, for me, is not showing anything. I know we won the game today, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not happy today. BBK, what's your thoughts on that?
Good, big up, man. First of all, big up, man. Big up to D, man. Appreciate you hopping on, bro. No, so I predicted a 1-1 yesterday because, and that's assuming Isak would have played. So when I saw Isak wasn't in the lineup, I was like, okay, now it's a must win now. They're turning up without their best striker. without 1/3 of their midfield missing with Joe Linton now playing. Like, we must win now. And over the course of the game, man, like a draw probably would have been a fair result, if I'm being honest. Like, Newcastle played enough to get something out that game, you know. Whenever your goalkeeper is out of the match, it's usually a different story to be told there, right? Now, he did put himself in a couple bad positions giving the ball away, but still, he came up and made the saves. But again, Eddie Howe has done a better tactical job, bro, because Newcastle are very good without the ball. Even if you look at last week's game versus Chelsea, when Chelsea went down to 10 men, Newcastle still let them have the ball. You know what I'm saying? And today, they had like 38% possession of the ball and were still able to generate some pretty good chances. That's management, bro. And Eddie Howe has done well for himself, and he gets honorary shot for manager of the year, really. Because if you're telling me before the season, third and a trophy for Newcastle, I mean, I don't want to speak for the Newcastle fans because D-Man talks to them daily, but third and a trophy, I think you'll take that.
Oh, 100%. Listen, and obviously the job's not done, but I agree with what you guys are saying, right? We were the better team in that first half, right? And like I said, if it wasn't for Raya, we could have been 3-0 up, right? But Raya's there to do a job, and he done his job, yeah. And like I said, for him to be man of the match says a lot. But this is my frustration, even with Isak in the team, right? My frustration since I think the Man United game, I think, right? We've been very sloppy in the final third. We get the chances, yeah. We create opportunities. We get in the right places, positions and stuff. But our finishing has been subpar. Because even Isak, right? When was the last time he scored from open play? Like it's penalties, yeah. And he's been sloppy off it. And we know he's been playing with a groin injury, but he's been run to the ground, right? I get that, but we've been relying on moments. To be fair, we should be scoring the last 3 or 4 games. We should have been scoring at least 3 goals in every game, right? And finally, it's caught up with us because Raya was on job, and Arsenal are no mugs defensively, right? And look, it took one moment from good goal from Declan Rice. Don't get me wrong, but from when you went running up, there was no real belief that we could equalize, yeah. And obviously, Callum Wilson, love the guy to death, right? But his time's up, right? And I thought today was probably one of his better games, but he's not it, right? So when you see Isak's not in the lineup, believe it or not, I was one of the only ones that thought, you know what, this game's a wrap now. We're not winning. All the Newcastle fans say, no, we can still do it. We're going to do it. Whatever. We have no attacking threat. Whether even though Isak's not really on job, he's still an attacking threat. He's one of the best strikers in the league. So we're intertwined. Like I said, not going to blame injuries, but we didn't have Joe Linton, didn't have Isak, didn't have Trippier, a half-bit Botman. But again, I can't really fault the team because they played well. For most of the game. They played well. Just that final third let us down, and that might be my worry going into next week because everything on form, yeah, they can defend, right? And Pickford is a Sunderland fan, so he'll turn into prime Buffon, yeah. Watch, yeah. So
do you think Isak plays next week?
No,
no,
I don't think so. Eddie Howe will say, it's a minor injury. It's didn't want to risk him, but this has been he's been suffering it for a long time. There's rumors that you're going to have an operation at the end of the season, so it's obviously a problem. So why risk him? You should have the quality to beat Everton, right? Yeah. So rather than risking a further long-term injury with him, I just don't see it happening.
That's fair.
So Barcelona. Sorry, go on, BBK.
I'm saying that even with the Isak injury and Newcastle, only Liverpool have scored more goals than you, man.
Yeah. Serious?
Yeah. Listen, only Liverpool have scored more goals than Newcastle this year.
And we've got the most wins. I don't know if you got caught up to that today, but no one has got more.
Yeah, no one got more wins.
Yeah. You got 18 in it, or 18 or 19 in it.
You got 19 now. We got 20. You got So we're a very good team, bro. But it's just that of late, it's the finishing that's letting us down. Defensively, we're not going to concede more than 1 goal a game. I don't think, right? I'm that confident in our defense, right? But we need to be putting these chances away. yeah, and this is where the deficiencies in the team are, because if Isak's not there, the striker's not scoring.
You know what? Another thing, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dean. Another thing though that I think as well, yeah, and maybe this is an underrated comment, but I think is it Murphy, the guy that plays up front?
Yeah, on the wing, on the right wing.
Yeah, I think missing him as well, because my man's been clinical this season, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think he's been more the assist is more what he's known for, right?
Yeah,
but he's great season, right? And what Eddie Howe's done with him is fantastic, but he can't be our first choice right winger next season, right? He can't be. He's good and he's having a great season, but like today, when he's ineffective, he can't produce that moment. Yeah, if we had an Embremo, for instance, he can produce a moment. Right? So these are the kind of games that you'll need Embremo for to create something. Murphy, and again, he worked in tandem with Isak very well. Right?
Yeah.
With Wilson, he's never had that connection, so it's a bit different. So, and he's not gonna dribble past the man, whatever. So, I'm gonna say easy to defend again, but he's more about whipping the ball in. Someone's on the end to take it. But credit to him as well, though. He's having a very, very good season.
Yeah. Is Specs streaming today? Because I see Carol say something about Specs has got a stream in 20 minutes. Is that right?
I think he must have did the watch along, and I think he's probably going to do a reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. Go on, BBK. Sorry.
I said, he's going to be on Never a Foul because he's going to jail later. They're going to say.
Oh yeah, definitely. But what's your feel on the game, BBK? Because for me, even when we scored, I was like, banger, fire, 1-0. But at the end of the game, it looked spooky for us, man. These man, if they had their shooting boots on today, could have equalized or possibly won the game.
Yeah, it was gonna take something like that for us to beat Newcastle today, because they completely nullified us. They would have the ball, and we're gonna make you break us down, and we couldn't do it. They made us look slow, made us look predictable, made us look like Arteta's Arsenal. And Eddie Howe has beaten them 3 times this year, letting them have the ball and running this formula, and it almost worked today. And it just took one brilliant moment from Declan Rice. Like, that was what happens when we move the ball quickly. Odegaard didn't dwell on the ball, knocks it across. Declan Rice didn't take a touch, just hit it. That it was gonna take a moment of brilliance like that. Even Priya the Drury said it on the commentary. Like, hey, it was gonna take something like that to beat Pope from.
Sorry, just to cut you, yeah. Just to cut you. Obviously, Declan Rice scored the goal, right? And you were talking about the midfield. How do you think the midfield battle went today?
I actually think Partey did his thing. Partey do Partey things, keep things sticking. Declan Rice was making those. You can tell he was knackered in the 67th, 70th minute. But because Newcastle's shape was so good, it forced him to have to drop deep when he didn't want to, run with the ball when he didn't really need to, because you have to let the ball do the work against this Newcastle team. But they are so well drilled, especially when this is not even the formation that Newcastle want to play, because essentially Murphy was being used as a wing back.
Right, wing back,
right. Yeah. He wants to be higher up the pitch, but whenever we got the ball and there was 4 guys in front of us, that we had nothing for it. And I think Ethan would have been a perfect candidate to come into this game because he can actually drop his shoulder, run with the ball, and beat his man. But Arteta wasn't good enough to make that tactical adjustments. He wasn't brave enough to do it. Eddie Howe knew he wasn't going to do it, so Eddie Howe was like, "Okay, have the ball," and they had the better chances. Hence, why David Raya is our man of the match. I think
that's it.
Yeah, we got away with it.
I see Cav's in the building calling me out. Big up, Cav. But to be fair, like John C said, I thought we did win the midfield battle. But
in the end,
overall, should I say? Not say there wasn't periods when we didn't dominate you for the whole game. We didn't dominate for the whole game because it's kind of like a back and forth kind of thing. But I think we kind of edged it, right?
Definitely in the first half. After we scored the goal, there was a period when we grew into the game. But then it kind of died back down because Newcastle went for it for like the 81st minute on. But
I will give Eddie Howe his props for the I say the tactical adjustment because, like I said, that's not the formation we usually play. But we kind of against yourself and Chelsea with Botman back, we changed the structure. And listen, it almost paid off. But a moment from Declan Rice, and to be fair, a mistake from Anthony Gordon. I don't know what this guy's doing, but it is what it is. Is what it is. But I think we can take that into the next game with confidence. The fact that we played pretty well, we're at home. We should get the job done. I don't think this will really dampen the spirits because we kind of knew it would go to the last day because most Newcastle fans predicted a 1-1 anyway. So that wouldn't have been good enough anyway. So we knew it's going to go to the last day. Let's see what we can do next week against Everton. But yeah, I heard a relief in Cav's messages, man. He's very relieved. I can tell.
No, but to be fair to Cav, though, it's only a few weeks though, D-man, yeah? There's a lot of talk coming from you, man. All I kept seeing is D-man. You better watch out on, you know what I mean? When we play.
No. Let me address this. Let me address it, yeah? Because don't get me wrong, like I give as good as I get, right? But I never said you would beat Arsenal. I didn't say that, right? I just said we had the better midfield, right? And I stand by it. I said we had the better midfield, right? And also the other thing I've stuck by is that Isak's not going anywhere. That's the two things I've been really hammering home, and I stand by it. I stand by both of those points. Yeah, Isak's not going anywhere. Yeah, he's not. Right.
Next year, the year after, maybe.
No. Next season, I expect him. After next season, I don't expect to be a Newcastle out there. I don't. Yeah, but I think he's gonna stay this season. Yeah.
But hold on, if someone puts a 120, 130 bid in, yeah, that's gonna be. You're not gonna refuse that. No. You're not gonna refuse that
because we, like I said, we have no PSR problems, right? None, right? We can go out and spend now. They're talking about without sales, 150 million. So plus player sales, maybe 200, 250, whatever, right? There's no need to. Our chairman has said, we are not, he said to the board, do not sell your star players this season, right? So that's that in our favor, right? Eddie Howe's come out yesterday. That's the most fierce he talked about. I'm tired of these links with our players. We need to pay our star players what they deserve this season, which means that the new contracts. So there's nothing in there that makes me believe. Don't get me wrong, I could be wrong, but there's nothing that there makes me believe that Isak's going anywhere. And the other thing I said was we bullied Liverpool's midfield. That's all I keep going on there right in the group chats. And to be fair, I don't think I'm incorrect in anything I've said. Yeah. And this particular game, I didn't say we were going to beat Arsenal. Yeah. I was brushing Arsenal because we beat you 3 times. Yeah. 3 times this season. Handled you 3 times this season. Yeah. This game, I never said we were going to beat you though. I said if we beat you, we go second. Yeah. We're not finishing second. Obviously, we're not finishing second now. But the priority is Champions League qualification. If we'd failed to do that, hands up. You know what I mean? It's all pelters coming towards my way. But he doesn't have a 6-year contract, but I think he's only got 3 years left. I think he's got 3 years left on the contract. So, it is what it is. Big up Scants as well.
Big up Scants. I've got to get Scants and, you know what I mean, Cav on here and is it Dwayne, isn't it? Dwayne on here as well. All of these, man, yeah. Do you know what I mean? One of these shows.
You man are all welcome to jump on that. Man, later at 9 o'clock, by the way, if you're about.
Yeah, hey, listen, if I'm still about, Scat say first 11 FC.
But that's a fair point because I've said we have a top 6 first 11. Our squad is not top 6. Our squad, if you look at our squad, right? If you look at our first team, right? What? Pope, right? Trippier. No. Livramento, Cher, Botman, Burn, and you've got Loosehall left back, whatever, right? These are the first team players. First team, you Trip included. Then you've got Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, Miley, yeah, maybe because he played well today. Then you've got Isak, Wilson, Gordon, Barnes, and Murphy, right? That's a good 14, should I say, maybe, right? But after that, you've got Willock, who's okay. Longstaff, garbage, yeah. The rest of our keepers are not very good. Maybe the Bravka is okay, but he's going to go. Sean Neave is a youth player.
You've got Hall as well. You've got Hall.
No, I mentioned Lutal.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You've got Matt Target, long, right? So there's about 6 players there that need to go, right? We usually put about 3 goalkeepers on our bench. Yeah, that's how short we are in quality. You know what I mean? So.
But hold on, D-man. Hold on. I've got to stop you there, yeah? You man have scored the second most highest goals after Liverpool.
Yeah.
And you're talking about quality right now. You man are in a position where if you'd been us there, you would have been second. You wouldn't have been talking like this.
No. You understand what I said. The first 14 players are quality.
Yeah.
After that, they're not. Yeah. So if you're going to look at, let's be honest, Eddie Howe performed miracles to get us where we are. If we finish third, with this squad, nobody predicted us to finish third. Yeah. I know Scat about no plan B. Hold a minute. We played a different formation. Last week he was reacting to Merck's changes. So what do you mean no plan B? That's a nonsense statement. That's just trolling. Like end of the day, we had a plan B against you lot. Yeah, that's what I said. We had a plan B against you lot. Yeah, because when you played our first choice midfield, you ain't done that. Yeah, we bodied you in the final. Yeah, so let's not talk about no plan B, please. Respect my team, bro. Yeah, respect my team. Yeah, please. Yeah, respect my manager. Yeah, but listen, I expect us to make 4 or 5 quality signings in the summer, and we'll see what we do then. Obviously, the quality of them will depend on where we finish in the league, but I still think we're going to get Champions League qualification.
You're already talking to what's the guy from what's the team in Germany? What's his name? The striker that's coming for Callum.
Oh, not Boniface.
Boniface. Yeah, Boniface. You already talking
about Remo, the Espanyol keeper. We're going to get business done. I'm convinced. We're going to get business done. It's just about who we let go as well, card. I need Longstaff gone. I need Matt Target gone. Yeah, I need Callum Wilson gone. Yeah, about 2 keepers gone. We need an exodus, right? But we're in good hands, man. We're in good hands. And listen, I think we can take a lot from this game today because it showed the gap between us and Arsenal is closing. I'm not saying we're as good as you lot, but it's closing. Yeah. And we'll see moving forward, innit? We'll see moving forward.
I want to go back to this comment with BBK because I want to touch on Arsenal today a little bit as well, and get your guys' thoughts on Arteta, tactical management. It seems like we've got no plan B. I know we won today, but we just looked really just the same. This guy's bringing on defenders. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no attacking quality. He's leaving Ethan on the bench, and it seems to me that this manager doesn't have no type of kind of changes with him. He just seems to be regimented with the same kind of defense first, hold the lead, and do you know what I mean? Let's just do the 1-0 thing. What's your thoughts, BBK, on this game and going forward next season? Do you see the same kind of tactical approach from Arteta, even if we bring in the likes of Gyökeres, Zubimendi, and co?
I don't even think we're going to bring in a Gyökeres, bro. That's why he had to get Kai Havertz on the pitch today so he could score. If Kai Havertz scored today and then scores next week against Southampton, all of a sudden they run this PR. Oh, Havertz is back. You hear him in this press conference. Havertz has transformed during injuries. He's looked better than he came on. It was the same Kai Havertz, bro. He came on and he's the one that gave away that free kick to Tonali. Bro, I was shitting my pants when he stood over that. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm looking away because if he dares, he comes on, hits the ball straight at the keeper, gives away a foul. He does nothing, bro. He comes on. I said it in Rashid's build-up to the game. I said Kai Havertz is gonna touch pitch before 1 year. And so said
he nearly got a red card today, He nearly got a red card. That second one on Gordon was naughty, man.
Bro. He hates Newcastle. Kai Havertz hates Newcastle. Every game he should be sent off. Yeah, that's it. That's how he goes on, bro. You do what Thug Joe Linton. Listen, look at Havertz, bro. Look at the way he goes on when he plays us, bro. He's disgusting. Yeah.
If we go into next season with Arteta as the manager and these players, because I don't think his voice is resonating with these players. They need a new voice, bro. And I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle finish above us next year if we go into the season with Arteta.
No, but surely, listen, you've got that I forgot is it Bertha that whatever you call it. There's no way you're going to go into next season without a striker, right? So my thing is, from a neutral point of view, I think he's played the way he's played. Because remember, there's under his tutelage, you were free scoring. I think was it last season when turn of the year you were banging in bare goals, right? Now Give the guy a striker, right? One, I think you've got Zubimendi, whatever, right? Then judge to see how he played, because I think he will change the system a little bit. I think you're way too reliant on Saka. We know that already, right? But I think he's shown that he can play the attacking football. He's also shown that he can play the pragmatic football. So maybe when he's got a striker, more attacking quality, he might merge the two and go for it again. Like,
yeah, but we've seen him. We've seen him. Everyone knows. I know that we need a striker, and then he went into the market and signed Kai Havertz.
Yeah, but maybe because the quality striker that he wanted was not available. So if you get Gyökeres now, then that changes everything. No, maybe Sesko. You never know.
Yeah, but I'm saying the fact that Kai Havertz was able to come back and come onto the pitch to replace Bukayo Saka, when the natural replacement for Bukayo Saka is Nwaneri, because when Saka was hurt, Nwaneri is who saved him. Nwaneri was the one who came on and played well, and then Saka goes
maybe,
and then you bring on Havertz.
Yeah, but maybe he's seen the mistakes he's made with Saka with overplaying him 24/7, whatever. Maybe he's thinking he's trying to protect Nwaneri till maybe next season when he's a bit more mature, whatever, and then use him then. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought that.
800 minutes, bro. I looked up his minutes. He has played 800 minutes total. Kai
How old is
Havertz
he?
played 1,800 minutes and injured. And the kid has 9 GA of 800 minutes, bro. 800 minutes. That's not even 10 games. That's not even 10 games, bro. That's 90 minutes per game. That's not even 900 minutes. So he's not tired. Arteta just doesn't rate the kid. And he rates Kai Havertz highly. And if you rate Kai Havertz as a striker, I question your judgment. I just have to. Like, I'm not going to not believe my eyes. I've seen Arsenal drag their feet with every transfer linked with. It takes 2-3 weeks. Then there's another 2-3 weeks in monitoring. Then we sign him. Bro, we were linked with Kai Havertz on Monday. Tuesday, he was holding up the shirt. Arteta really wanted him. This is the only transfer we never drug our feet with.
And maybe he thinks he plays the system well enough. I don't know.
He got injured and came back and is touching grass before Ethan. That's criminal. And that's, you took off your right winger. You bring on your right winger, because we've seen him take off Timber, like for like sub. Ben White. We've seen him take off Martinelli, Trossard, like for like sub. But you're going to take off Bukayo Saka and bring on Havertz. All of a sudden, like for like sub isn't your thing anymore. I question he makes these bonehead decisions that force me to question his judgment. I want to believe in him, but I can't. He is showing me that it's like accountability is chasing him, but he's faster. He just keep outrunning it, bro. He just keep making these mistakes. I can't get with it, man. I see every manager making their team better, and he's making us worse. I was angry watching my team win a game today.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm cussing.
And D-Man's there, like, you know what, we lost, but you know what? We put in the effort. We put in the work. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And on another day, if we had Joe Linton, if we had Isak, it could have been a different story. You know what I mean? If Raya was on a poor thing, you know what I mean? It could have been a different game. And he's all right. We're going to the last game. You know, we've got top 4. We've got our trophy. But there's another thing that I want to talk to D-Man about as well, because, and I know this isn't from you, yeah? It's from someone called Geordie, yeah?
Yeah.
One of his watch-alongs, yeah?
Yeah.
He was talking about next season now, you know what I mean? Obviously, he had the chest after winning, you know what I mean, the cup and stuff like that, which I get. But he started talking about being contenders next season. Newcastle being contenders. Now, you're hearing people saying all of this, but for me, to be a contender, you don't have to bruise up Arsenal, yeah? You have to bruise up Liverpool and City. And I know you've done that in the cup, but can you, man, do that in the league?
All right.
Contenders.
So, from my perspective, whether we was to finish second, if we beat you lot today, we finished third, whatever, I don't think we can be considered title contenders next season, even if we have a good summer, right? Because, like you said, you know, we fail to beat City every season, right? Can't remember the last time we beat City. Yeah, Liverpool in the league was before Klopp when we beat Liverpool, right? So they're the benchmark, right? I will say the positives are we've made up ground on Arsenal now, especially at the Emirates, because at home we tend to do all right, but at the Emirates we put in the performances, we've got the result in the cup, whatever it is, right? So in that respect, you know, we could get some positive positively from that. But it's also the silly games that we keep losing at home. To Fulham did the double over us. Yeah, we lost at home to Brighton. We lost at home to West Ham. Yeah, and West Ham are terrible, right? So these are the games. These are the games we got our ass handed to us by Bournemouth at home, right? These are the games we need to learn from. Is the consistency that I need to see before we can start thinking about challenge. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe we should be consistently looking at the top 4 now, because that's the next step, right? We've got the cup, maybe another trophy, maybe the FA Cup, I don't know, but that's the next step. It's all about gradual progression. You have to walk before you can run, right?
Yeah.
Because next, don't get me wrong, if we finish in the Champions League spot and next season and we buy a couple of really good players, the pundits are going to gas us up and thought, oh, Newcastle could be underdogs, they could challenge, whatever. We're not falling for that, yeah? They're going to build us up just to break us down. We're not in that position, yeah? Eddie Howe's never won a league. He's never come close to winning a league, right? Apart from Botman, I think he won a league. Tonali, right? How many league winners do we really have in our and Trippier? How many league winners do we have in our squad? You know what I mean? We haven't got the experience. We've got the experience of Champions League now. We've got the taste of it, yeah, and we want it. We'll get it again. So that's where we should be looking. The top 4 seeds every. What I will say though, there is no big 6 no more. Yeah, because Spurs are no. I don't care. I don't care.
Statement.
I don't care. Spurs being where they are, yeah. Man United are there on name alone. Man United are there on a name alone, but they're treading on thin water as well. But you're looking at Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City.
Villa?
Yeah?
No, not Villa.
No, those are the 4 like proper. They're not going anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that are now disturbing the big 6, us, Villa, and that's it. I think us and Villa. Yeah, disturbing that big 6. Yeah, because we should be aimed both Villa and us. We could both be in the Champions League next season. Yeah. So, and that'll be the second time in 3 years for both of us. So you know what I mean? It's starting to change. The narrative has to start change. Obviously, the media ain't gonna like that. They're not gonna do it. But we're starting to arrive now. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But a title challenge, nah, it's not happening. That's not happening.
I think it could happen. You just have to sacrifice the cups.
But then if we get the squad depth, we can play, Asula or Isak's understudy, whoever we get in the cups. We can still, we've got enough fullbacks. We can rotate. We can rotate if we get 4 or 5 new players in, right? Quality players that are going to challenge the first 11, not just be understudy. That's actually going to challenge like Joe Linton, going to challenge, the centre backs. A new keeper, so Pope will be the second keeper. You know what I mean? So, and Isak can't be that comfortable, knowing that he's going to play every game. You know what I mean? So,
sorry to cut you, but would you accept that if Eddie Howe's strategy, he won't come out and say this publicly, but if you look at his lineups and how he approaches next season, and you can see through and see that his strategy is, I'm going to actually target this league because I've won the EFL Cup. I've proven that I can win that, and that has bought me some credit.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
And I'm going to rotate.
He will be telling the squad that they're good enough to challenge for the league. He will be telling that because I know that he's been telling that from ages ago. We should be getting Champions League this season. Yeah, that was the aim from ages ago that we are good enough to get Champions League. So he's always going to be pushing them further and saying, "Why?" You look at Bruno Guimaraes when he's talking about. We're going to be challenging for the league next season. He said it, right? So the belief is there within the camp, right? But we have to be realistic, yeah? Because if you're going on this season, no one's challenged for the league this season. Liverpool's gone clear, yeah? Yep. You then have to overtake City, overtake Arsenal before you can start thinking about challenging for the league. And it's not done overnight. Yeah, it's not done overnight. So we're making progress. We're improving. We're improving, and we should be aiming for Champions League every season. Now, from now on, we should be aiming for Champions League every season. Yeah.
But I will say, we went from 8th, 5th, straight to challenging. If you can go, you were a Champions League team, had a year off, now you're 3rd. I don't think it's crazy to say that you can go from 3rd to challenging.
It's not impossible, but remember, we haven't got the commercial and the financial riches that you have.
Yeah? What?
Yeah, but we were challenging with Zinchenko and Jesus and them, man, that year. It wasn't the big sign.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you look over that period of time, how much has Arteta spent? Been able to spend?
800 million, 800,
Right. Compared to our what?
Yeah, but if you look at the
450?
squad though, because Jesus doesn't get into your squad, like you know what I'm saying, like.
But the thing is, though, yeah, D-man, you have quality. Yeah, that's the thing. You have one of the best strikers in the league.
And that's it. We never had that. In the league. We never had that during our challenge. That's a great.
This season we've had the best midfielder in the league.
No, I'm talking about the striker. We never had a.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. Yeah, but we don't have a great. We've got a good shot stopper of a keeper. He's not a great keeper. He's not great with his feet. Whatever. Right?
I think he's better than Ramsdale.
Oh yeah, he's better than Ramsdale.
So there you go.
Ramsdale's a Ramsdale. No, but don't get me wrong. But remember, you were starting from 8th. We were starting from 19th. See what I mean? So we still have to get rid of Steve Bruce's players. Yeah, we have to get rid of Steve Bruce's players. You know what I mean?
Steve Bruce.
Huh?
Who was still there from Steve Bruce?
Yeah, who's there from Steve?
Miggy Almiron.
Yeah, he's gone.
Is he still there?
No, I'm saying until the season. He left in January. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. We still obviously Callum Wilson was still there. Joe Linton was a Steve Bruce, but obviously Eddie Howe transformed him, right? Who else is there? Dubravka's still there. We had who else we've got? Longstaff, Murphy, Willock. Yeah. So there's still a lot of Steve Bruce signs. I'm not saying all of them are rubbish. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of them are rubbish, but to go from 19th, yeah. And we had the season in the Champions League, whatever. But remember, then we finished 7th, right? So now we're going to finish 3rd or 4th. So we have to show that we're consistently in that top 4 first before we can think of, going for the title. Like I personally believe. And again, it depends what kind of players we sign in the summer. Because remember, Eddie Howe takes his time to introduce new signings into the team. It took ages to introduce Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento, Tonali, yeah. Even before the ban, Tonali, and when he come back, he wasn't really playing, right? You know what I mean? So it takes a while for him to he was rotating Isak and Wilson for a long time, right? So it takes a while for him to embed these new players. So it's like it's not done overnight. But again, we're in a positive space, man. We're in a positive space. So let's see.
No, the overarching point that I was making that you can go straight to challenging, because I remember when we finished 5th and we were saying we're going to challenge next year. The same narrative was being ran. What team are you going to dislodge out the top 4? No one expected it to be Man United. They haven't been nowhere near top 4 since. So I wouldn't even say, don't worry about these teams in the top 4 or 5 are established. You kick one of them out.
No, I get that. What I will say is next season I won't expect to finish above City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. I won't expect to finish above any of those 3. Yeah, I'm not saying we can't do it, but I won't expect to finish above those 3. Right? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying top 4 is because I genuinely believe that we can challenge for the top 4 next season. Like definitely, right? And I know there's the comments about that we can't handle the midweek games, whatever. But if we sign five players, yeah, then we will be able to come. We will be able to come.
Another thing though is D-man as well though, is that you're gonna lose. You may lose like a big player like Bruno Guimaraes.
Right, let's address this now. Right? So no. We could do, but why would we? Well, first of all, why would we? Because we ain't got PSL problems. Yeah, so we don't need to sell. It's not like last season where we had to sell Minte, Anderson, whatever, and we were offering Gordon to Liverpool, whatever. Yeah, it's not. We don't need to sell. Bruno is not going anywhere. This brother, he might even retire at the club. He loves the club that much. He's not going anywhere. And also, no one's going to pay. And I believe, listen, I love Bruno, but no one's going to pay our asking price for Bruno. They're not going to do that, right? You've got Tonali. Now, Tonali, I believe, I personally believe he's the most at risk to leave, simply because he has got that focus on Champions League, right? Yeah. And you didn't see his interview the other day, but literally every other sentence was, we have to make Champions League. We have to make Champions League. Have to make Champions League. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The only thing that might keep him is his loyalty for a season, because we stuck by him during his ban, right? Yep. So I think he might think he owes at least one more season. Yeah. Isak. Now, if we get if we get an astronomical offer for him, then the club may not want to turn it down. I get that. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw he had the Champions League shin pads on last week, whatever. Yeah, so he got Champions League, right? So, but, bro, Had you
I heard he likes
Mourinho-
the atmosphere in Liverpool as well. You know, I mean, you know, he loves the atmosphere.
No, he doesn't love the atmosphere. He doesn't. He doesn't love the atmosphere. He said it's a good stadium. He said it's a good stadium. That's what he said. Good atmosphere, good stadium. All this begging from Liverpool fans need to stop, right? Yeah. Now, if we get Champions League, he doesn't go anywhere. I actually genuinely believe, even if we don't, he stays for one more season.
Do you think there's a chance that you don't get Champions League from this point?
Yeah, because there's a chance. Because if we don't,
one game left.
Yeah, but if we fail to beat Everton, even if we draw,
you're beating Everton, bro. You're beating Everton.
No, we should do. Don't get me wrong, we should do, and I think we will.
Yeah.
But if we fail to beat them, if we draw, yeah, because remember they done our dance last. I mean, we sloppily draw with them last season, and like I said, Everton are on form. Pickford is a Sunderland fan. Like they want nothing more to spoil our party. But if we hypothetically, if we draw, and City have win their last 2 games, Villa win their game, we're out. Yeah.
Chelsea has to leave front. Chelsea got.
Yeah, but if Chelsea beat Forest, if Chelsea beat Forest, Forest beat Chelsea, and we don't win, one of them goes above us. You know what I mean?
You have a better chance.
We have the best chance of making out of all the teams. Bar City, if City win on Tuesday, but us, Chelsea, and Forest, and Villa, we have the best chance because if we win, no one ain't catching us. Yeah, Villa can only equal our points, but the goal difference is too big. They're not going to catch us.
Right.
So as long as we win, and that's what I'm saying. We knew Newcastle fans knew that it'd go down to the last day, but they're confident. They were confident that we'd be Everton. Now I was a bit more nervous because we don't know if Isak's going to play, and it's a must win because Villa winning on Friday and Chelsea winning on Friday, which we expected, but it brings up the pressure. And remember, Villa are playing Man United, so they're going to get the 3 points. Yeah.
Where's that? At Villa? Oh,
it's at Old Trafford. It's at Old Trafford. Yeah, it's at Old Trafford.
That's depending on what happens on Wednesday in the Europa League final.
Yeah, but Man City should beat Bournemouth and should beat Fulham, right? Not guaranteed after their performance yesterday, I don't know. But and then you've got Chelsea and Forest. One of them has to win that game. Yes, a draw's no good for none of them. Yeah,
it's looking tricky there, though, isn't it? It's looking tricky.
Yeah, look, 66, 3 teams on 66. That's what I'm talking about. And Forest on 65. And Man City on 65. Man City, you know what I mean? Man City will get 4. Man City need 4 points from 2 games. Yeah, we need 3 points from 1 game. Yeah,
I think you get it, man. Everton at home, St. James's Park is going to be rocking.
Oh, it's gonna be rocking. Yeah, but we don't know that Isak's going to be playing, bro. He's got a groin injury, bro. He's got a groin injury, and he needs an operation at the end of the season. Yeah, so we don't know where he's going to play. He's been playing with injections to this day, bro. So what I'm saying is, now, the fact that remember, if he could have taken injections today, they would have played him. Yeah. So obviously that it's not working. So there's no guarantee he's going to be there next week. Yeah.
Well, but back to the point of Tonali, I think he stays because if he goes to Liverpool,
who?
That doesn't guarantee his playing minutes, right?
Who? Tonali?
Yeah.
He don't get Liverpool.
Yeah. So who was he linked to?
Italy, back to Italy.
Oh, back to Italy.
And I think is it Barca or Real Madrid looking at him? But
I think,
you know what I mean?
Real Madrid, come on, if they come calling, bro.
He stays because 1, he's guaranteed minutes. 2, he's in the Champions League, and next year is a World Cup year. You need
no. Don't get me wrong. But if we make the Champions League, none of them are leaving. Yeah. If you make the Champions League, none of them are leaving. But if we don't, I think Tonali's the biggest one at risk. I think so.
You got him from Inter?
Milan.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But I think we've got a couple good champions up our sleeve. I think we'll surprise 1 or 2 and we'll get some quality in. And I bet you, listen, if we fail to win the Champions League, if we fail to qualify for the Champions League, and if you do qualify for the Champions League, and no, it's not that. But I think Isak will announce his contract extension soon after. Just to bring up the mood.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And if we qualify for the Champions League, he's just going to announce it. I say, yeah, I'm here. Why am I leaving? You know what I mean? So it's we'll see, man. We'll see.
Let me just end on this though, yeah. Arsenal season, and I want to go straight to D-Man about this, yeah. No trophyless again this season. Fans just muddied. The club's muddied. Everyone's muddied in the club, yeah. What's your thoughts on Arsenal this season, and can they do anything next season?
Okay, in terms of this season, I don't think you can dress it up anyway. It's been a disappointment because at the beginning of the season, even at the end of last season, it was right. Next season's our season, meaning this season, right? Everyone most pundits, most fans, most had Arsenal winning the league. Even neutrals had Arsenal winning the league, right? Now, given the fact that City have dropped off, yeah, this was your perfect opportunity, right? And what's even worse is that slots come in, made no signings. Yeah. Now don't go wrong. Great achievement. Yeah. Let's see what he does with his old signings. Because if he don't win the league next season, then he's made Liverpool worse. But he's come in and he's coasted the league. Let's be honest, Liverpool haven't been that great, you know. Have not been that great. Yeah. Right. But they've won the league.
I disagree. At the first start of the season, I thought they were peppering teams.
No, start of the season they were doing very well. But every time they started to drop points, Arsenal dropped points as well. They couldn't capitalize. If Arsenal capitalized every time Liverpool dropped points, you lot be in the tight race to this day. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, the injuries have not helped you lot at all, right? But what I will say is that you've had very few injuries for the last 2 seasons and still ain't got over the line. Right. So you can't really blame injuries too much this season, right? Now, obviously, we know the lack of a striker has harmed you lot significantly. But then you have to say, whose fault is that? Is it the board? Is it Arteta? Whose fault is that, right? Now, to make matters worse, Tottenham could go and win a European trophy, right? And qualify for the Champions League. Now, don't get me wrong, Tottenham is still rubbish, and they've had a worse season overall. But the fact of the matter is, they could end up with a trophy and European football. And the fact that you don't have bagged the European trophy in God knows how long before, and I think their last European trophy was before you won your one. I don't know what it is, but that will be the icing on the cake, right? Now, also, it puts huge pressure on Arteta next season, right? Because if he gets a striker and still don't win the league, he's gone. He has to go. He has to go. And the thing is, he's done a great job today bringing the fan base together. Remember, they were very divided after Emery. He brought the fan base together. Emirates, is now a good vibes there, whatever. He's in danger of tearing that all apart. Yeah, not just with the lack of getting over the line, but his arrogance, bruv. His arrogance. Yeah, I think he said after today, no one could have done a better job than he did this season with this team.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, after saying you look with the best team in Europe. Yeah, brother, he ain't got the success to be so arrogant. He hasn't, right? And it will start. More fans will start turning on him if you don't get it. If you don't start the season sub-party, yeah, but average next season, after 10, 12 games.
We talked about that yesterday, Abs. Slow
it
start
could be it could be curtains for him, man.
Yeah.
It could be curtains for him. And you've got to stop relying on Bukayo Saka, bruv. Yeah. You've got to stop relying on this guy because teams, Newcastle thing was shackle Saka, and we're good. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it didn't turn up today, but you've got to have more to your game. Like your players, boss, how many world class players do you not have? Truly world class.
I don't think we have any. I hold the world class thing very highly. I think we got very good players.
And I'd agree. I don't think you've got a single world class player.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So if you're going to challenge, you're going to need at least one, maybe 2, right? Who are you bringing in? And listen, Martinelli, you're so lopsided. Martinelli on that other side, you've got no striker there. When you've got your left back. I think you're weak at left back. I don't know your left back. I don't know who your left back is. Right?
Miles.
Oh no, Miles is scary, but he's a midfielder apparently. Apparently he's one midfielder, right? Then you've got your midfield. Partey, we don't know what's happening with him. Obviously, Zubimendi's coming in, but he might need time to adapt to the league. We don't know. Yeah, but remember, you're expected to attack on all 4 fronts next season. Yeah, you've got quite a few gaps to fill in that squad, right? Whether you're gonna get the money to do so, I don't know. Or do you back Arteta to the hill and give him one last go, or do you think, okay, we'll give you a few pieces, but if you don't do, we can replace you? Because if things don't go right, if you don't win the league next season, if you don't win the Champions League next season, he's gonna go. He has to go. An FA Cup's not good enough. A League Cup's not good enough. Yeah, it's the 2 big trophies that one of them he has to win. yeah, he has to win. And I just don't think, I don't know if he will. I don't know if he's the guy to take you, to get you over the line.
What are you saying, BBK? What you got to say to that?
Nah, I was waiting for him to say something I disagree with so I could interrupt him. I heard nothing but facts there. And at the end of the game, when I saw our manager like this, both hands in the air as if he accomplished something after finishing second again. Bro, you won the game to secure Champions League football. You go shake Eddie Howe's hand and you go down the tunnel. What was that? Took both hands in the air. What are you celebrating, bro? That right there is emblematical of how he thinks that he actually accomplished something this year. And that trickles out to the players. He got a yellow card today for kicking the ball away. He's banned next week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, touchline ban. So Ethan might play. And he got a touchline ban, yeah?
What kind of discipline is he showing the team as well?
Exactly, and that's exactly where I was going, my bro. So when people bring up the red cards, I can't hear it because that manager, bro, man is never in his technical area. He's the ball boy. He's landing the airplanes. He's doing Pilates. He's doing all that stuff. It trickles down. The players meant to look for him for calm and for leadership. He's panicking more than the players. He's over there doing too much, bro. He's just not it. He's just not it. All the managers that have won trophies this year, Slot, Glasner, Eddie Howe, do we see them doing any of that? Tell me I'm lying. People in the chat, tell me I'm lying. Any of the managers who actually lifted silverware this season, have we seen them do any of this stuff our managers doing? There are many problems at Arsenal Football Club. He's the biggest one.
Yeah, man. Before we go, quick shout out to Crystal Palace. I know D-Man was at the game yesterday.
Wow.
To beat City, man, you know, that was a mammoth. It was David versus Goliath. No one expected City, Palace to come through. And you know what, yeah? Shout to man like Eze, Mateta, Wharton, who's the guy on the left back, the centre back as well. Yeah,
great. Shout out to Dean Henderson as well because he lost his dad. Yeah, he lost his dad early in the season. Like to pull up a thing like that, performance like that. I don't know if you heard his interview. He said he was looking for him in the stands and that he got really emotional. Like, nah, man, big him up, man. Big him up and big up Palace. I'm going to the game on Tuesday as well, so that's going to be on big celebration. And the parade as well. But nah, big up Palace, man. Happy for them. Very happy for them. Listen, we could be in the same competition as them next season, bro. It's a joke, bro. We could be 12 in Europa League. And Glasner's won that competition before. So
has he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So Glasner's not a joke. He's not a joke thing then. He's not a joke manager.
Glasner is a serious manager.
Yeah,
with Frankfurt. He's a serious manager, you know. Don't sleep on Glasner, bro. And you know what? They're gonna lose their couple of their players this season, but he'll get replaced, bro. Look what Elise said. They replaced him with Sarr. Sarr's had a very good season, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? So big up Palace, man. Is
that Palace. The same Sarr from Watford? Or is it a different Sarr?
Yeah, same guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Same guy, right. He's about 22 for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
These guys, man. But listen, people, we come to the end of our show. Do you guys want to shout out your channels and if there's anything, you know, up and coming that we need to be tuned into?
Yeah, well, big up, man. Big up for having me on. Like I said, 90s Mags. We'll be on at 9 o'clock to review the game. Myself, AC, and Jefferson. So if you're about, just tune into that. If you want to jump on, let me know. But yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, man. Pleasure.
Brilliant. BBK.
Yeah, man. But that 90s spec. You see that damn AC, man. I've been watching that show, man.
It's funny, isn't it? That funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that man is. People, make sure you go subscribe to that. Mags TV. But yeah, man. Yeah. I don't do a show today. I do a weekend review show tomorrow morning. Around 4 p.m. UK time, 8 my time. So yeah, man, look out for that. But big up, man. Big up to D, man. Third, bro. I think you finished third. I think you hold on to it, man. Good luck.
Cheers, man. I appreciate it. We'll see, man. We'll see next Sunday.
Big up, man. But people, the names of their channels are going to be in the description, so make sure you guys go and sub to them. None of this long thing of like, oh, you know, you're not going to do it. Make sure you go and sub to them, because D-Man and BBK, class brothers. And the group chat, if you're using the group chat, it's murder in the dance, you know what I'm saying? So anyone knows about them lyrics, it's crazy. But listen, my dinner's ready. I'm going to eat. Big up to everyone, my peoples, them, and big up to BBK and D-Man. Thank you for joining. We out.
Appreciate it. Peace.